MotorChase, pursuing the best car for your needs.
Welcome to MotorChase. In this week review, which was not a very strong week for news again, and the main news were about Geneva, an auto show that promises to be one of the greatest ones in this year, as we have already said, and we had some anticipations, some of the main attractions there. Volkswagen, for example, is working on SUVs, but not on only one SUV. It is working on two. One of them would be the production version of the T-ROC, which is a vehicle that is smaller than a Tiguan, and Volkswagen is keeping that idea of having the names of their SUVs always beginning with a T, and also a concept vehicle which will also be produced over the MQB platform and which will be named T-Cross apparently. We have to check it out. It's going to be produced in the developing countries probably, and mostly countries that already have the MQB platform there. Apart from that, we also had the DB11, the Aston Martin DB11. It's being revealed to potential customers before the Geneva Motor Show, and it will be the main attraction of Aston Martin there. There has been a picture that is circulating in the internet, and people have seen it and were not very sure if it was a Photoshop or a real picture of the car, and Autocar came and said, yes, this is the DB11. And since Autocar already knows the car, they have access to it well before it's introduced, we are pretty sure that the car is that one. Another English introduction will be the Jaguar F-Type SVR, which will be a new Jag able to trespass 300 kilometers per hour or 200 miles per hour. This car is not very different from an F-Type R, for example. There is even a video on the article that shows the transition between one and the other. You should check it out. It's an interesting car, and we believe it will be a great addition to the lineup, to Jag's lineup. And let's hope to see what we can get there. Some people are saying it has to be very special to earn the special vehicle nomination, but we are sure Jag will get there with it. And the most important revelation for the Geneva Motor Show was the Opel GT. Opel has already said it's not going to produce it. It's just a vehicle to test the consumer's reaction, all that crap that they regularly say about these cars. But it's very clear that this car has not a mission of selling too much. And they say they are not going to produce it because it's not going to sell that much. But this is not the idea. This is an image car. This is a car that Opel will use in order to be seen with fresh eyes, as its CEO has said before. So it will be a car to bring customers back to Opel. And we believe it will be built over the Alpha platform, the same one from Camaro and from the Cadillac ATS. And it's a gorgeous car. Of course, it's going to be very modified for the production version, and it's slated to 2018. If it doesn't happen till there, it will be probably because of plant changes or economical changes, all these things that we know that affect the development of a car. And it's probably already being developed because to go to market in just 2 years is a reasonable amount of time. They will have to speed it up, of course, but it's probably already being developed. That's our guess. Let's see if we were right on this one. Also for Geneva, we will have the Porsche 718 Boxster so far, because we believe that we will have also the 718 Cayman. You already know the names, Boxster and Cayman, but now they are going to be named 718. And the 718 was a famous race car from the 1950s with a four-cylinder engine. And this is what's happened to the Boxster and the Cayman. They have received two Boxster, and they have received two new four-cylinder engines with pretty much power. You will see that in the article. And the cars will be renamed. We believe that in the future they will be called 718 Roadster and 718 Coupe, and that's it. Let's see if that's okay, also, if that's correct. And with things that have nothing to do specifically with Geneva, maybe this one will have, but we are not sure about it, because Tesla is going to present in March its affordable car, the Model E. The Model 3, and I explain the confusion in the article. Check it out, because Tesla had the S model and the X model, and one friend of Elon Musk came to him and said, well, what's next? And he said it's going to be the E model, so they would have a sex lineup. But it was not supposed to be true. It was a joke, but the name caught on, and he tried to register the name. It was not possible, so they inverted the E, and it became the Model 3. And besides the Model 3, they are going to also have a new SUV based on it, which will be named Model Y. And the Model Y would complete the lineup. It would be sexy. And it's a funny way to call the lineup. And we don't have many sexy lineups these days, so it would be nice to see it happen, and that name confirmed, the Model Y. It was also a British farewell, but not to Lemmy or to David Bowie. It was for another legend, the Land Rover Defender. It has ceased its production, and the 67-year-old SUV is no more. So long live whatever replaces it, as we have said in our article. We have described the emotional way people have said goodbye to this vehicle, and also we've put some of our emotions in that as well, to say farewell, my friend, and thank you so much. There were rumors also this week that DeLorean is going to produce again the DMC-12, not the DMC company that was known before. It's a new one that bought the right to use the name and to make the projects. And they are speaking about the production of this car since 2008. So now they came up with a new release saying that with a new law they are encouraged to do so, encouraged to produce the cars, but that's not certain. They are still checking the feasibility of that. So when people say that the car will have 400 HP and everything, hold your horses. It's not so far. They are still speaking that they are evaluating everything, and if it's possible they will produce the car. If not, they are still going to sell these pieces as replacement parts, and they will have no problem with that. But the idea was to produce new cars. They have everything that they need to, but they will have to replace the engines with more eco-friendly engines, let's say so, engines that are compliant with the new environmental regulations. So it's still too soon to speak about production. Let's wait a little longer. And our last article is about safety. We have written it for our think tank section. It's related to cars that are sold in developing countries and in developed countries. Why are they so different? This controversy was between GM and Latin NCAP. Latin NCAP has tested the Chevrolet Aveo, which is produced in Mexico, and it's sold with no airbags, and it got 0 stars in classification, which is basically saying that it's a death trap. And Latin NCAP has asked GM not to sell it without airbags, to place airbags in this, but it's a sort of a useless urge because this car is unsafe even with 4 airbags. And NCAP has already seen this. They have tested it in Euro NCAP, and the results were horrible. The result was a huge risk of killing the driver. So what we wanted to discuss is this, even with, especially because Mary Barra, GM CEO, has answered this urge, saying that they had to secure people's right to transportation. They had to be able to buy a car. If you could place lots of safety items in a car, and it would be very costly, people would not buy it. But this is a sort of excuse that makes us think that some lives are more valuable to corporations than others. This is the impression that we get. We know that corporations live from profits and that they have to sell products that bring them a margin. But for example, DFL is already amortized. There is no expenses on developing it. It's been already paid. So when you say you are trying to secure safety and transportation for people, sorry, you could use the same sort of speech by saying we won't sell this car with seat belts because it would cost too much and people would not have the access to transport. We won't place a windshield in this car because it would make it more expensive and we wouldn't be able to sell this car at a competitive price. Come on. Safety, safety. If you have a car that is sold in Europe and it has a body that is resistant to crashes, it has crash boxes and everything, and ultra high strength steel in it, why not sell the same car in developing countries, even if with not so many of the security items? The problem with Aveo is its structure. It crumbles. And we have much safer cars to sell in Mexico, in Brazil, and in many other countries, in developing countries. And this is the discussion I wanted to bring. Why does it seem that some lives are worth more money than others? Mary Barr has even said a person is a person. Okay, so a person is a person everywhere. If you can't sell a safe car, you shouldn't. You shouldn't sell anything. You should let people buy used cars because used cars are expected to be unsafe in some cases, but not a new one. And I hope if you read the article, I hope that you like it. And if the discussion is interesting to you, please share it with your friends and let's spread the word. So this is it. Thank you so much for your audience. Please be with us next week. We'll bring all the news that are most relevant, and as this week was, as we have done this last week, and we intend to keep on doing that. Please share your thoughts, give your comments, and let me know what you think. Have a great week, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching.